We've
All
had
right.
quite a few folks request a recording of the video. So
Okay. Very nice. Okay. And now I can't share screen. Heather, can you make me a co-host again? Technology, gotta love it.
It's a team effort.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. All right, so we will show that short video and then we will get started with our program. All right. Can everybody see my screen okay? Okay.
The College of Education and Human Development at the University of Louisville provides multiple programs and degrees for individuals preparing for a career in teaching or current professionals seeking advanced education certification. U of L's undergraduate teacher certification program is perfect for incoming freshmen and current enrollees ready to gain a Kentucky certification. The Master of Arts in Teaching degree allows graduates from non-education majors to pursue an advanced education degree while simultaneously meeting the requirements to become a classroom teacher in the state. U of L also offers a variety of advanced certifications programs to help current teachers and school professionals advance in their careers. The College of Education and Human Development partners with high schools around Kentucky to allow students in grades 9 through 12 the opportunity to explore a potential career in the classroom. They can earn up to 9 hours of college credit towards an education degree, which saves them tuition costs and shortens the time needed to complete a degree. And the University of Louisville supports diversity in America's classrooms with its Multicultural Teacher Recruitment program, which puts people of color on a path to success as a teacher. Hands-on learning is a fundamental tenet of the College of Education and Human Development. No waiting, U of L students are in the classroom either in person or virtually from their first year. The welcoming environment at U of L includes a team of advisors, faculty, and staff, including a mental health and wellness coordinator, ready to help you along the path to reaching your goals. And scholarships and financial aid options make your studies affordable. When you come to the University of Louisville, you'll be part of a dynamic, diverse, and inclusive academic community where students from across the country and around the globe come to learn, explore, and create. Where world-class faculty and researchers work to educate, challenge, and inspire. Where a beautiful park-like campus welcomes you with the amenities you want and the convenience you need. Where numerous scholarship, financial aid, and work-study options make pursuing your degree more affordable. And where opportunities abound to build your resume, serve your community, and root for your favorite team. When you're ready to take a break from your studies, Louisville is ready for you with music, outdoor adventure, eclectic shopping, and great food. It's a vibrant, progressive city on the banks of the Ohio River that's easy to navigate on foot or by car, bicycle, and public transit. The metro area has a population of about 1 million people, yet maintains a friendly, small-town feel. Explore your passion for teaching or jumpstart your career with the University of Louisville College of Education and Human Development.
All right. And at this time, I will turn our program over to Dean Lingo for some words of welcome.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. It's the first time I've seen that video. It was great. So thanks to all of you in admissions for coordinating that. And it looks great. So to everyone, good morning. And on behalf of the University of Louisville and the College of Education and Human Development, thank you all for being here today. I get really excited about this day each year because I love that each of you are considering teaching as your future profession. In my eyes, there is no more rewarding job on the planet. I have been in classrooms since I graduated from college as a middle school teacher and now as preparing future teachers. And I can truly say that being in classrooms with students has been one of the most rewarding parts of my career. The teaching and learning pathway for aspiring educators like you and the dual credit program that you're enrolled in provides a unique opportunity for you to explore and learn about the teaching profession. And you will be able to spend time in classrooms with experienced teachers who will mentor you as theory is put into practice. You will learn what the life and work of real teachers working with real students is like. And I know that you can earn up to 12 credit hours, the 9 hours in the pathway, plus an additional 3 hours towards a university bachelor's degree in teaching while in high school, which does give you a jump start on college. And the pathway also allows you to save on tuition and get an early start on your career. I know that this has been a difficult year, and I cannot begin to imagine all that you have missed out on while learning in a virtual format. And so for that, I know that you are resilient. The fact that you are here today speaks volumes about your dedication to your education and the passion that you have for your future career. Now more than ever, we need passionate, excited students like you to enter the teaching profession. And I hope today is the kickstart to a future in education at the University of Louisville. I am here to answer any questions or concerns that you may have as you explore our dual credit option. Charles Rains will ensure that my contact information is made available, and I am happy to meet with you should you want to visit campus or talk to any of our faculty about what options are here for you. So please reach out to me should you need anything at all. I am looking forward to calling each of you colleagues and hopefully Cardinals. So go Cards, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning with us. Thanks, Stephanie.
All right, now we're going to transition over to Ms. Shelly Durham, who is our Multicultural Teacher Recruitment Program Coordinator. And Heather, we may need to give Shelly access to where she can share her screen for her presentation.
Okay, just 1 second. While they're giving me access to share my screen. Hello, everyone. Again, welcome. Thank you all for having me. I am the coordinator of the Multicultural Teacher Recruitment Program, or just MTRP. And I have a brief presentation, nothing too lengthy, just to give you a little bit of information about what MTRP is. And in the chat, if I'm allowed to, Charles, I don't know if I have access, to enter anything into the chat. I'll put our program flyer as well, which has our website link and my contact information. So let me.
Awesome, thank you, Shelly.
Say it again.
I said thank you.
No problem. Let me see if it's gonna work. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So again, this presentation is going to go over briefly what MTRP is. This is the MTRP class of 2019 during our MTRP graduation celebration. So to get us started, I'm just going to tell you a little about who the staff is for MTRP. It is myself. I am the coordinator, Shelly Durham, and also a graduate assistant by the name of Erin Gantz. If for some reason you aren't able to reach me, or sometimes you might get emails from me anyway, because I do communicate with a lot of students, you might get a communication from myself or Erin Gantz, and that is why. It's because she also works under the program. So MTRP has been around since about 1985. The program offers different types of programs and events to assist underrepresented students in becoming certified teachers in Kentucky. The goal of this is to help decrease the gap of the teacher workforce of how many teachers of color that we have. So for example, a lot of times our classrooms aren't reflective, or our teachers aren't reflective of what the classroom looks like. And I use the example, a lot of times I did not have a teacher of color until I went to high school, and I went to Central High School. So that is the goal of MTRP, to help increase the numbers there and get qualified minority teachers into elementary, middle, and secondary schools. So some of the programs and services that we offer through MTRP, we do offer praxis workshops for the praxis core, which is math and writing. We actually have a workshop coming up soon in May. And if you would like some information about that, you don't have to worry about that just yet. I know it's a little early, but if you just want to get a kind of a peek, just to kind of see what we cover in that workshop, it's absolutely free. All you have to do is RSVP. And if you would like information about that, feel free to contact me. If you know anything about the practice workshop, that is, the practice core, it is required in the state of Kentucky in order for you to teach. We also provide assistance with job placement. Most of our students are currently teaching, graduates are currently teaching in Jefferson County Public Schools. We do have a partnership with JCPS specifically where our students can graduate, and actually before they graduate, they are offered conditional hiring contracts, which basically means you already have a job before you graduate, which that's nice, right? We also offer networking support, meaning I'm able to connect people to other districts if they are wanting to work in their hometown, whether that be like Oldham County, Bullitt County, wherever that may be. And we offer community building. So a lot of times, if you're a student of color, you might be the only person who looks like you in the classroom. So we try to help students network and find students they can connect with. We have MTRP meetings, which include different types of programming. We have alumni come and speak to our students. We have our own graduation celebration. We do some fun virtual mixers now, given the time period with COVID. And lastly, we do offer financial assistance, which includes scholarship and practice assistance. Our scholarship deadline right now is June 1st. So if you are about to graduate, you still have time to apply. It is a simple application. It asks you a couple of questions. All you have to do is submit it, and we'll get those processed about a week or two after the deadline closes. We also offer practice assistance. And what that does, while you are a scholar, we will pay for one practice exam of your choosing. And if you don't know anything about the cost of those run anywhere from $150 and up. So we saving you some money there. The scholarship itself is something that you have to apply for annually. It is $2,000 a year or $1,000 a semester. Some other information, you may be receiving these already. We do have the MTRP Informer, which is our newsletter to kind of tell you what's going on for the month. We do a lot of celebratory things, like when it was Women's History and Women's Appreciation Month, we kind of tailor the newsletter to depending on what's going on. Our recent newsletter celebrated our current graduates for the class of 2021. And we also have social media for those of you who are on all platforms. We have a Facebook, Twitter, and an Instagram, and it is just simply U of L MTRP. If you would like to receive the newsletter or if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me and I will get you added to that list. And that is pretty much all that I have. Again, I will put the flyer into the chat. If you have any questions, whether it's about getting admitted, if you're just confused about anything along the way, or if you just have some more questions, or if you just want to chat with me about some different things, I am open to that. So my contact information will be on this flyer. So thank you all for having me, and you all have a wonderful day. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Charles Rains, and I'm the Senior Academic Counselor here in the College of Education and Human Development, and also the Program Coordinator for our Teaching and Learning Pathway programs. And so we're going to shift gears here in just a second and talk about the different types of education majors that we offer here within the College of Education. And that's also going to transition us into our student and faculty panel, where we're going to have our faculty that are attending this morning speak about their area of expertise and their experience in the classroom and working with teacher education candidates. And then also give you all a chance to meet some of our students who are currently in the program. So they're in their last 2 years in the professional education program and are working towards graduation and that initial teacher certification. So I'm getting ready to share my screen. And so Heather, are we set up for that?
You should be, yes, should be fine.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so I can't get the slide to actually go to full screen. So can everyone still see the slide for the most part?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and transition to talking about our different programs and majors that we offer within the College of Education and Human Development as it relates to initial teacher certification. And so my good friend and colleague, Mr. Justin Crenshaw, he's another senior academic counselor here in the College of Education who works specifically with our elementary education majors. So Justin's going to give an overview of the elementary education programs that we offer on single certification options and also dual certification options. So Justin, going ahead and take it away, my friend.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending today. My name is Justin Crenshaw. I'm the Academic Counselor Senior for Early Elementary Education Programs, which does include special education and early childhood education. In the state of Kentucky, in particular, what we have at the University of Louisville and what we pared down are 6 certification options to give you a competitive edge when it comes to teaching, preparing you for the future, and meeting your career goals and needs as a person and professionally. And so in terms of single certification options, we have 3 that you are able to choose from. We have one that is an individualized track. You may also hear this called elementary only. It is just K through 5. This track is an excellent opportunity for you to include a minor or honors or kind of fit your goals and needs. So for example, I have a student who is interested in psychology. I have another who's interested in communication. And so, we have students who kind of go across the board, diversity and equality to kind of prepare you for the future. And so you could work with me to kind of figure out what kind of electives that you need to give yourself the range to meet your career goals. We have one that is moderate and severe disabilities only. This is only for students who want to work in special education, and it actually extends up. So your classes will focus in on the elementary content, but typically gives you a K through 12 certification. So you extend up to middle grades in high school in a moderate and severe disabilities classroom. And then the last single certification, it is just like the MSD under the elementary umbrella. It focuses heavily on elementary, but it is interdisciplinary early childhood only. So this is a birth to age 5 certification, and it's for students who like working with the really little bitty kids. So preschool, daycare, Head Start programs, and kindergarten. In terms of dual certification, all these certification options in dual will give you a K through 5 elementary certification, but gives you a second certification in another area. So we have one that is in early childhood. Again, that is the birth to age 5. And then we have 2 that are under special education. So K through 5 elementary plus K through 12 special education. And those are in learning and behavior disorders and moderate and severe disabilities.
Thank you, Justin. So we're going to switch gears now and start talking about our middle grades and secondary education programs. And so we're going to talk about middle grades education first. And so with middle grades education, you are working with students in grade levels 5 through 9. And so we offer 2 content pairings with the middle grade certification option. We have math and English, math and science, math and social studies and English. So you would be certified to teach in a middle grades classroom, grades 5 through 9, in those 2 content areas. But in addition to that, we also have content areas paired with the learning and behavioral disorder option. And so what that does is we are able to help you get the certification in grades 5 through 9 for a content area in either English, math, or social studies, plus certification in learning and behavioral disorders, kindergarten through 12. And so that will also add a very wide array of marketability pieces as it relates to you being able to work in not just the middle school classroom, but also in elementary, middle, and high school settings when it comes to working with students who have a learning and behavioral disorder diagnoses. And so in addition to that, we're going to talk about our secondary education programs, which secondary is also a confusing word to a lot of students. That is just a fancy word for high school. And so within our secondary education programs, that is going to give you certification grades 8 through 12 within one specific content area. And so we offer a variety of tracks in terms of those content areas. We have certification options in biology, chemistry, earth and space science, English, mathematics, physics, and social studies. And one of the diverse pieces as it relates to getting that secondary certification is that we also offer the opportunity for students to extend down to middle school in that content area. And really all that is switching out one class in the professional program for another one. So we're not adding anything additional in terms of being able to get that extension down to middle school, but that allows you to be certified to teach that content area grades 5 through 12. So you're certified both middle school and high school if you choose that option, or you can do strictly secondary, which is just certification in high school for grades 8 through 12. We also offer certifications in French and in Spanish. And for that certification option, that is for grades kindergarten through 12. So you are certified through the elementary, middle, and high school levels for either one of those two language areas. Now, when it comes to our program, we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about how your time here at U of L is kind of broken down into two phases, okay? When you come to us as a first-time freshman to the University of Louisville, you will be in what we call the pre-professional phase, which is phase 1. And those are your first 2 years in your time here at U of L. And it's during those first 2 years that you're checking off a lot of things as you're progressing towards getting into your actual major as an education student. And it's in those first 2 years where you're completing your general education courses. A lot of you are going to already come in with your pre-professional education courses because you're taking that as a part of our dual credit program through your high school. And so that will include courses such as EDTP 201, Introduction to the Teaching Profession, EDTP 107, Human Development and Learning, and EDTP 215, which is the Foundations course. Earlier, Miss Shelly Durham talked about the praxis exam. We're not going to worry you about that right now because we are going to get you to that point once you get here, okay? But have that in the back of your mind that it's one of the things that we're going to have to work through once you get here. And then it's also in that pre-professional phase where you're getting ready to apply to the professional education program, which is your last 2 years here at U of L leading up to graduation. And that application process is something that we work through with you going into your sophomore year. So that is something that we guide you through and get you ready for right up to that point of application. And it's actually a very streamlined process. It's not anything to be scared about because, again, we prepare you really well for that application process. Once you apply to the program during your sophomore year and you're admitted to the professional program and prep to begin that program in phase 2, that's when you're going to enter what's called a cohort structure, which is kind of similar to what you're doing right now with the Teaching and Learning Pathway program, in that you're going to be admitted to the program with people who are seeking certification in the same grade levels that you're looking to teach. And also you're going to be paired with folks who are wanting to teach the same subject as you. So you're going to start this program with these folks and you're going to finish the program with these folks. You're going to graduate together. These are going to become some of your best friends that you will have for life. And that is very true. In the last 2 years, that's when you're getting into your upper division or higher level education courses where you're really starting to take that theory that you've learned and really applying it at a more higher level through your field experiences, where you're going out into the schools that we partner with here in Jefferson County and actually putting theory into practice. It's also in those last 2 years where you're finishing up the rest of your content. And by content, I mean the subject area that you're wanting to be teaching. So for example, English, math, science, social studies, what have you, in that preference of yours. And excuse me, when you are in the professional program, you're not just in a classroom here at U of L, you are out in the schools observing, working with students, and getting that firsthand experience, like I said, putting that theory into practice and really developing your own individual skill sets as future teachers. The culmination leading up to graduation for everyone is student teaching. That is where you are really flying solo, you're implementing those skills that you've learned into the classroom, and you're working with a cooperating teacher that's going to let you run their classroom and show the world what you can do when it comes to being a future teacher. For those of you all who are going to be elementary education majors, regardless of the different tracks that we have for you to choose from, you all have the flexibility to student teach in a spring or fall semester. And then for those of you all who are choosing middle and secondary education, you all will student teach within a fall semester only, and then you return back that spring semester after student teaching to complete your last 2 professional education courses and any remaining content that's related to the subject that you want to be teaching. Just to kind of give you a breakdown of what that looks like from a more visual perspective. For our elementary education majors, over there on the far left of the chart, the blue section represents your general education courses. And so for elementary education folks, your general education courses are very important because when you're an elementary educator, you're teaching all subject areas. And so your gen ed courses are really serving 2 pieces. 1, the gen ed requirements needed to graduate from U of L, and 2, the content knowledge that you need to be an effective elementary school teacher. And then the remaining roughly 75% or 80% of your degree will center around professional education courses. So being able to take your content knowledge and apply that with learning theory and really implement that across grade levels of kindergarten through 5th grade, or if you're working with, you know, the different other track options, those pieces will come into play as well. For your middle and secondary education majors, the pie chart looks a little bit different for you folks, all right? Your gen ed courses will comprise roughly about 20 to 25% of your time here at U of L. And just like the elementary folks, some of your gen ed courses are tied to your content area. So that way your gen ed requirements are meeting 2 purposes. 1, the gen ed requirement for graduation at U of L, but also giving you the content knowledge that you need at that introductory level to go into those upper division courses related to your content area. There in the red, those are going to be your major courses. Now your major courses are going to fall within 2 categories. The first category is professional education courses. So when you get admitted to that second half of your time here at U of L, and also your upper division content courses that are at the junior and senior level. And in addition to those major courses, there in the purple, we have what are called related and supporting courses. And this offers a little bit of flexibility in terms of what you choose to take. These courses typically have to be at the 300 level or above, but they are course topics related to the discipline that you're going to be teaching. So for example, we have for our English education majors, they have about 12 credit hours of courses, which is essentially 4 courses that are in the humanities. And so that allows them to explore topics such as Greek mythology. That is definitely one of the heavy favorites for our English education majors. They also have the ability to explore interest in upper division creative writing, because that is something they're going to be doing within their English classrooms, is teaching students how to engage in creative writing. And so these courses not only allow you to explore other areas within your discipline, but it also is going to be courses that's going to help you pass your teacher certification exams, okay? And then lastly, for our middle and secondary education folks, you notice there in the green that you have a very wide range of opportunities to explore electives. And this is a very good opportunity for you to consider possibly picking up a minor related to your field of study. And so, for example, with our science education students, they tend to pick minors related to what they're getting their certification in. So, for example, a biology education major will also pick up a minor within biology, or our English education majors will pick up a minor in creative writing. And one of the things that Dr. Thomas and I are working on right now is working on getting a diversity, equity, and inclusion certificate that would be able to be used to meet your elective requirements, which gives you another step up on other folks from surrounding institutions that are applying for the same job that you're going to be applying in within Jefferson County Public Schools and the surrounding counties that are here in Kentucky. So if you have any questions, we have 3 ways of getting for you to get in contact with us. The first one is Dr. Lingo's contact information, as she is our interim dean of the College of Education and Human Development. If you are interested in any of the elementary education tracks, you can reach out to Mr. Justin Crenshaw. And for those of you all who are interested in middle and secondary education, you can reach out to me. My name is Charles Rains. And, you know, we meet with students before they even get to U of L, just to kind of give you that one-on-one attention. And we are more than happy to do that. If you would like to call our office and speak with us through an appointment. As of right now, we're still doing appointments via Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or by phone, just because of the safety guidelines due to COVID-19. But you can call our office and schedule an appointment with us. Our office number is 502-852-5597. And I will also drop this presentation into the chat so that way you have it for reference. And so what we're going to do now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we're going to transition over to the student and faculty panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our faculty introduce themselves first. They're going to talk a little bit about their background and their experience within their area of expertise in working with teacher candidates. And then we're also going to allow our students who are currently admitted to the professional program in that phase 2 piece, talk about their experiences, the things that they have learned as they progress through their degree program here at U of L, and a little bit about their field experiences that they've had when going into the schools. So for our faculty, we'll just kind of go with whoever can chime in. So it looks like we'll start with Dr. Thomas.
Hi, so I am Dr. Shelly Thomas. I'm the faculty liaison for the dual credit teaching and learning dual credit program. And what that means is I am the faculty person on campus who helps the dual credit teachers make sure that the classes they're teaching in the high schools meet the standards that we have here at the University of Louisville and get you prepared for teaching. So Charles and Justin just gave you a lot of really important and technical information. So how about everybody takes a wiggle break, and the faculty are going to introduce themselves in just a second, as well as the students. So we know that the information that Charles just shared and Justin just shared is going to be hard to remember in the future. So we want to be sure that you remember the contact information on that last slide, and don't be afraid to reach out. I'll also share while you're taking that wiggle break that I am here on campus and it is a beautiful day. The trees have leaves, the flowers are blooming, and we really do have a wonderful campus, and we wish you were here walking around with us. But we recognize we all have to be safe right now and meet virtually. That said, when you're ready to come on campus, we are more than ready to welcome you. So as Charles said, I'll start off with, and our faculty are just going to share a couple of ideas about who they are, what they've done, why they love teaching, and why they love working with teacher candidates. Okay, so I'll start out. I am a former high school teacher in Jefferson County Public Schools. So I taught social studies, I taught African American history, I taught world geography, world history, and US and American history. And one of the things I love about teaching is that I am constantly learning. I am always learning something new, not just about history or about geography, but I'm constantly learning from my own students about their experiences. I'm constantly learning about new methods of teaching and new technologies, and that constant learning fills my need to be engaged with information. The thing I love about working with teacher candidates now, working with those who are studying to be teachers, is that I get to be part of their process of learning to teach, and I get to be part of their successes. And so one of my favorite parts is actually graduation, which is going to happen here next week, when we send our students figuratively off into the world to have their own classrooms, and they kind of begin the cycle again. So this just being part of a community of teachers, a community of educators, is one of the things I really love about working with teacher candidates. So I'm going to introduce the next faculty member, and then I'm going to ask them to introduce the next one as we see each other listed in the participant list. So Dr. Howe, I see you next. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure thing. Good morning. I am joining you from my vehicle. My father had an accident last night, so I'm driving, but I wanted to definitely be a part of today because we want to make sure that you feel welcome and also that we're here to answer questions and help you in any way that we possibly can as you make your decisions moving forward. My past experience, former middle school social studies and language arts teacher. I taught in East Tennessee, so a very rural district, but I also taught in New York City, so a very urban experience. And the thing that I learned from that is that middle school kids are middle school kids, regardless if they're in East Tennessee or if they're in New York City. And so obviously my area of interest and expertise is in middle school teacher education. And one thing that I love about being a part of education, particularly teaching middle school, is every day is different. You will never be bored in your job because every day brings new successes and new challenges, and always, as Dr. Thomas said, new learning. And I love working with teacher candidates because just as I worked with middle school students and watched them learn and grow, I love to watch teacher candidates learn and grow and build confidence in who they are as a person, but also who they are as a teacher. So we're just really excited that you are considering and perhaps chosen education as a career. And feel free to reach out if you have questions, particularly people thinking about making an extension into middle school. So I'm happy to talk through that process and work with advisors and Charles as well. So I see Dr. Caroline Sheffield is here, so I will give the floor the virtual floor and screen to her.
Thank you, Dr. Howe. Can you guys see me? I wanted to make sure. Anyway, I'm Caroline, Dr. Caroline Sheffield. I am the social studies educator on faculty, and I just to kind of give you a little bit of background about who I am. I actually was a middle school social studies teacher in Jacksonville, Florida, and in Tampa, Florida. I've been teaching in those. I taught world history and world geography mostly during that time, as well as a Holocaust class as well. One of the things that I love, and I've been teaching in higher ed since 2005 and at the University of Louisville since 2009. So thrilled to be here as part of the Louisville faculty and family. The thing that I love about teaching is that for those of us who are not necessarily creative in arts, teaching allows you to be creative every single day. It allows you to figure out new ways to solve problems and new ways to explore ideas. Not only that, but as somebody who is a content area specialist, more so than an elementary focus where you're more of a generalist, as a content area focus person, it allowed me to really dive in and explore the content that I love. And that is the social studies. And so that's one of the things that I found as a teacher. I was invigorated every day, not only by the content and the creativity, but also, as Dr. Howe said, the fact that not every day was the same, especially teaching middle school. And I also used to say that if you don't laugh, have a real belly laugh at least once a day in a middle school, you're not doing it right. And so, but as far as being a teacher educator, the thing that I love, just like Dr. Howe and just like Dr. Thomas, is watching our students grow and becoming effective teachers. And I love getting in contact with our graduates after they've been out in the classroom for a while and seeing how much they've grown and how much they love teaching and how much they're able to impact their students. So again, I reiterate, if you need to get in contact with us, please do. I'm the instructor who teaches EDTP 215 on campus, which is the Foundations of Instruction. And if you have any questions about that course or the purpose of that course, I am more than happy to answer those. And I look forward to hearing from you in the future. And it looks like Dr. Ann Larson is on the call as well. Ann, you want to take it away?
Thank you, Dr. Sheffield. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see you all this morning. We are delighted to have you with us. And like all my colleagues in the department and the teaching and learning area have shared, I would echo every sentiment that they've expressed. We have a wonderful program at the University of Louisville. It is well recognized statewide, regionally, and nationally. We have wonderful faculty and amazing students. We would love to have you come and study with us. One of the reasons that I came to the University of Louisville years ago was because our program in our college is well known for its work with and in schools. As a former middle and high school English teacher for many years in Kansas, and also working in schools in Chicago, public schools, and also Chicago suburban schools, it's so important for universities and P12 to be connected. So our courses are often taught in schools, in high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools, where you get an opportunity to work with teachers side by side and your professors who also work with teachers. We are passionate about our content areas. We've got world-class experts in those areas, so you will learn significantly and you will be very competitive when you are interviewing for positions. We also do research in schools, and so you will get an opportunity to learn from us, from our publications, but also current work that we're doing often with our students. Another area that I think is really special for you to think about is that we as faculty not only work alongside you as undergraduate students, but also with master's degree students, doctoral students, students achieving rank degrees. And so we're very current and very immersed in what we do. As has been shared by Sherry and others, Ms. Durham and others, we are very committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our college, our university, our schools are diverse, and you will have rotations of experiences in working with diversity, equity, and inclusion along the spectrum in the many forms and areas of diversity, which make our society and our world such a better place. So I'll close now, but again, thank you for being with us, and we look forward to hearing that you're going to join us at the University of Louisville.
Okay, I think I've got all the faculty. Is there any other faculty present?
I think that has everyone, Dr. Thomas.
Okay, so I'll wrap up our faculty just by reiterating, come see us, come visit us, reach out to us by email or phone. I love working here. I love being at the University of Louisville. I am a College of Education and Human Development graduate. And so I look forward to welcoming the next group of Cardinals and the next group of Cardinal teachers. And with that, I know you want to hear from our students, and I want to hear from them too. So we're going to go ahead and have our students share. So Charles, you want to?
Sure. So it looks like we have 3 of our students here with us this morning. And we have 4, if I'm not mistaken. My blocks are moving around on me, Dr. Thomas. So looks like we have Hannah Smith, Lilly Montenegro, Megan Bryant, and Cece Lee. And so if you all want to introduce yourselves and talk about your experiences in the program, let us know what it is that you're looking forward to most as being a future teacher, and also tell us what you're going to be teaching and what grade levels. All right, I see Miss Hannah. So Miss Hannah, do you want to start us off, and then we'll bounce from you to Lilly?
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. Hi, everybody. So my name is Hannah Smith. I am currently a rising senior here at U of L. And my track is, I didn't want to cough on mic. My track is middle and secondary English and social studies. So I will be certified to teach 5th through 9th grade in both the contents of English and social studies. When I like to share about my experiences being a teacher, I find it kind of unique from a lot of my peers. Education wasn't my calling initially, so I thought. I started college as a nursing major, and about a year into college, I was in Charles's office sobbing about how I needed to get out of nursing and how I needed to get into teaching because that's where I needed to be. So I really want to talk really strongly.
To give you a little bit of a plug. Miss Hannah came to us from nursing with a 4.0, so that's saying something.
Thank you, Charles. Now I'm going to give you a plug. So what I really want to talk about, obviously I've had I have had 3 of the 4 members of faculty as teachers myself, and I can talk very highly about all 3 professors. I have learned so much, both technically and just about classroom culture and like how to actually be a good teacher. But I really want to offer up something about the advising staff. They are literally world class. I cannot say enough good things. I'm sure they're all wonderful, but I have worked specifically with Charles, and Charles has literally changed my life because he has streamlined the process so easily for me. And now I'm exactly where I always wanted to be. And I cannot say enough good things about the university. I am so excited. I wish I was graduating this spring. I have to wait a whole year, so I'll take 1 more semester of classes, and I'll also do a rotation of student teaching, and then I will be out there and I'll be a real practicing teacher, and I cannot wait. I am so passionate about education, and I cannot say enough good things about this university, about this program specifically. Yeah, it's been a really awesome experience. Okay, Lily, what you got?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Lilly Montenegro. I'm a middle secondary English education track. Hannah, I just want to jump off of you and say the advising staff here at U of L is amazing. And Charles, another plug, he is always just so ready for me and so prepared. Like when we come to our meetings, I just get so lost and like I don't know what to do. He always has everything just so ready and organized, and just makes my life so much easier. But my education experience with the U of L teaching, I just want to applaud the staff for being so flexible. They really care about their students like so much. Like they care about how we are growing as future teachers, but also as people. Like they really care about our mental health and just how we're progressing as students and as people. You can really tell how passionate they are, and it shows in their methods of teaching. It's really inspired me to become the kind of teacher that, you know, really looks out for their students, not just in content area, but in like the personal area as well. So yeah, that's my experience with U of L. So Megan.
Oh, well, thank you, Lily. I didn't have to transition that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Bryant. I'm also a rising senior. I just finished yesterday with my junior year last final paper, so that's very exciting. I am an elementary education major with a track in English, and so that was something that I know they don't offer anymore, but as a freshman elementary, we were picking a subject that we wanted to kind of focus on, and so for me, I chose English. And I'd also like to echo Hannah and Lily about the academic advising staff. I worked with Justin since my freshman year, and I still work with him. He is amazing, and I've also worked with Charles in terms of I've had a position on campus, and so I've had the opportunity to work with both of them. And I can attest that they are amazing. They do everything in their power to make you successful. And so, like Lily said, they come prepared to meetings. They do everything that they can to make sure you are on the right track to where you need to be. And so for me, that was something very comforting. Coming in as a freshman, I was very overwhelmed. But working with the both of them and Justin specifically, I feel so much at ease, and I feel prepared to continue on my track as a senior. In terms of my experience at the College of Education, I have loved every minute of it. I think I have learned so much about how I want to be a teacher, and also I've learned from professors. I've had Dr. Howell in class, and I really have learned from her that caring about your students is so important, and that you look at them and you want them to be just as successful. So you're going to do everything in your power to get them there. And so for me, that's something I've really taken away. And that goes for all professors I've had in class, especially. And I think in terms of field experience, that's something I've also learned, is that watching teachers do their work every day, I've learned and wanted to adapt from that. And so I've learned a lot in terms of how I want to be a teacher and things that I want to implement that they've done. And so I think my one thing of advice would be to really take advantage of those field experience opportunities, because as a freshman, I had field experience my first semester, fall semester of freshman year. And so from then on, I really took time and effort and taking notes and really talking with the teachers to make those relationships and learn from them. But yes, overall, it's been such a great experience, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. And I look forward to talking with you guys and hearing what you have and any questions you have. So thank you. Cece, I think you are up.
Hello, I'm Cece. Can y'all hear me? I'm on my phone. I just want to make sure.
Yes, you're coming through perfectly, Cece. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Cece. I'm seeking high school math certification, so my major is secondary education. My experience at UVL, the College of Education, has been really wonderful. Like everyone has mentioned earlier, Charles Rains is one of the best advisor I had so far. Honestly, he just really knowledgeable. He give you all kinds of ideas about how to help you stay on track with your education major. So I really appreciate that. And I haven't had classes from other faculty members, but of all the professors I had, Dr. Howe and Dr. Thomas, they have been really helpful, just really care about you and your education, want to make sure you're doing well with everything, whatever is going on in your life. So I highly recommend this College of Education to everyone. And I think that's all I have. Oh, I just want to say one more thing. Like Charles mentioned earlier, the high school education in comparison to elementary education, the amount of coursework you have to take is quite different. For example, like for my high school math education, I have to take a lot of math classes. So pretty much you will be doing like a math major, but it's going to be education major with a few general education courses are going to be different. So thank you.
All right, so one of the things I want to note out of you four is I loved how the majority of you all called yourselves rising juniors and rising seniors. That was a great positive spin on how things have been in the last year. So something that I feel that makes you all so different in comparison to any other group of students that will graduate from U of L soon is the experience that you've had here in the last year. Given the circumstances of COVID. So thinking back on this last year and as you're progressing through your teacher prep program, what would you say is one specific skill that you've taken away from this experience in the last year that's going to make you more marketable to your future schools and administrators and students?
I can go first. So I think something that I've really taken away is the use of Google Classroom and technology-wise in that aspect. I know for my methods courses, which are like content-based courses, as in your professional program, you'll take them. We've worked a lot with Google Classroom and Google Slides and kind of applying all of that. And so as field experience, instead of going into the classrooms, we've been given the opportunity to create lesson plans and do all of that work that normal teachers would do, that teachers of record do. And then we can kind of send that off to them and get feedback from them. And so I think for me, that's something that a skill that I have really taken away is just how I can use technology and incorporate it in, hopefully in an in-person classroom, but if not, I can use that and use it to my advantage, especially when presenting myself to other schools in terms of stuff like that.
Well, and Megan, you also forgot one important thing about yourself earlier. Megan was actually our student ambassador in Justin's and my EDTP 101 course last fall. And Megan basically helped us design the entire course from start to finish. She sat through many grueling 4-hour lesson planning sessions with us throughout the course of that planning. And also, not only did she help co-plan the entire course, Megan led 1 or 2 course sessions where she taught the entire class some different strategies for academic success.
Oh, thank you. I love the applause.
Yeah, claps for Megan on that.
Yes, that's also something that was such a great opportunity. Like I said, working with Justin and Charles has been amazing, and I've learned a lot from them. in terms of just how to present myself professionally and do all of that, because they do such a great job at that and teaching students. And like they said, lesson planning is a very big deal. And so I have taken that to heart, and all those meetings might have been long, but I took so much out of them, and that I've applied to a lot of classes I'm in now. So yes, I would take that and really just take it all in. If you get any of those opportunities, it's super important. And that's also a skill that I think could go a long way too.
So in my professional program, I would say specifically in the past 2 years, the things I have learned, I guess not past 2 years, and just in this weird like world we've been living in, I would say what I have really learned from U of L is the importance of collaborating and also the ability to adapt. And I think these are obviously two very important things within the world of education. Collaboration, obviously, because as a teacher, you're always learning, and you're also working with your other members of faculty. You'll be working within like a PLC, which is like a meeting with a group of other teachers where you talk about lesson plans and teaching strategies and that sort of thing. And then in terms of adaptability, I would say that everybody has developed some adaptability in the past year. But I would argue that education is a lot about adapting and making changes based on what your students need. And so I would say it's an essential skill in education. And I would say that this is something I've really learned in my own life, between learning how to, like to Megan's point, learning how to use Google Classroom on the fly, learning how to use all the technical aspects that nobody ever thought that teachers would really have to master. But here we all are. And I would say that when there's a will, there's a way. And I would say more strongly than anything, this program and the faculty and all the members on the College of Education staff have really taken that in stride. And in turn, we have all taken it in stride. And I would just say that we've all become a little more adaptable because of it.
I want to talk about something important. So our classes this year in the education program have been online. And something that I've really taken from my teachers, such as Dr. Thomas and Dr. Howell, is the importance of community building. Before each class, we would, answer these fun questions and get to talk to our classmates just a little bit, just to warm up. And it really did build a learning community. Like our cohort right now is like, I don't know about any of the other cohorts, but it's pretty strong. Just we all are on the same boat. And like when we would get into small groups, we'd be like just talking about like what we were going through and like our experiences in the class, and we would just help each other out. So I think that's an important skill that I've taken from this semester, particularly the importance of community building and how that can really influence our learning and our teaching.
Thank you, Lily. I guess my biggest takeaway would be personal growth along with all the different courses I've been taking. Because, for example, this semester this method class I'm taking, it's been really tough. Like we write a lot of lesson plans. I don't know if you all know Dr. Peters. He's a tough grader. I love her. I'm not bad mouthing her. I love her, but she is a tough grader. So I learned a lot about writing lesson plans. I'm just really happy to discover my true potential, how much I can accomplish in comparison to what I know about me in the past. So that's my biggest takeaway. Also, the second, the most important takeaway I have throughout this education phase is that the more interaction I have with different ages kids, the more I realize I care about them. So that really helps me to want to be more engaged with my future students. So I guess those would be the two biggest takeaways for me.
Awesome. Thank you all very much. So we are coming into the last 10 minutes of, are you all still here? Okay, good. I thought my internet just dropped. Okay, good. We are coming into the last 10 minutes of our presentation this morning. And so we'd like to offer this time for any of you all who are in our dual credit pathway program to ask any questions that you have from us, whether that be from a faculty, staff, or student angle. We're more than happy to answer those for you.
And we know some of you are meeting as an entire class. And so if it's easier to put the questions in the chat, we can answer it that way. Or maybe you want to just write down a few questions and contact us directly. Because if there's one theme that I heard across the faculty and the students is that we got you. And so whatever your questions are, whether it's, what are the food options here on campus? Or what is it really like to be in the classroom? What do you learn about? We can answer those questions, and we really love working with students and working with colleagues. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes in case any questions show up in the chat, or if anyone wants to unmute and ask a question directly while we're all here. But again, you're more than welcome to send us questions after we're finished with this virtual presentation.
As we're waiting on questions, Dr. Thomas, I just want to commend these 4 students here.
Oh, yeah.
You're killing it. We're so proud of you all to listen to you all talk. I mean, oh my gosh. So it's so good to see your all's faces too, and to see that you're doing well this semester. And we miss you. So I'm just going to stop there. It looks like there's a question in the chat, Dr. Thomas.
Okay. Talk about the English Language Learner Program.
All right, Dr. Thomas, do you want me to take this one?
Yes, please.
All right, so for our English Language Learners Program, that provides our students an opportunity to get an additional certification for English as a second language. And so let me actually pull that up, because Dr. Howell and I were collaborating with a student just a couple of weeks ago about helping her add that additional certification to her program plan. Give me just a second.
So Katie, a quick answer to that while Charles pulls it up and gives you a little more information on the specifics is, depending on if there's an interest in adding on to something else, we work with you through the program, and we keep in mind, and this is kind of true across all the programs, the big thing we keep in mind is, what is it that's going to prepare you to be confident to be a good teacher? And certainly working with English language learners is an incredibly significant task, and it's a really important one. And so all of those ideas about community building certainly carry over into working with English language learners. But then there's some specific knowledge that you need to have, much like Cece described the specific knowledge she has to have to teach mathematics at the high school level. And that's what Charles will show you, is what that looks like, what kind of courses, what they're called, for example, that help you be prepared to work with English language learners. And Charles, that's also that is a K-12 area certificate?
Yes.
Okay. So you would be.
Oh, go ahead, Dr. Thomas. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was on mute and I was talking to myself.
Okay, I'm just going to transition to you now. So this would be kind of multitasking here. So you are working on your English language learner certification as well as your primary area of certification. So go ahead, Charles.
All right. So for the English as a second language endorsement, so that gives you certification grades kindergarten through 12 to work with English language learners. And that is a 12 credit hour program. And the first half of that is completed in your last 2 years in your undergraduate program. And then the last 2 courses are completed once you've earned your degree and your initial teacher certification. So for example, with one of our students that we work with, she's taking 2 courses this fall. The first one is EDAP 518, Survey of Linguistics for Educators. So it's looking at linguistics from an educator's perspective. And so students who come into this course, they already have a background in a linguistics type course, okay? And so this is having them take that knowledge of linguistics and putting that educator spin on it. The other course that you have 3 to choose from. You have one that's World Englishes, Teaching English as an International Language, and Structures of Modern American English. And so you can choose from any of those 3 options to complete that requirement. And that will be within that last semester or last year of your time here at U of L when you're earning your undergraduate degree or your bachelor's degree. Once you graduate, you take your teacher certification exams, you get your teaching license, then you would come back as what's called a post-baccalaureate student. And then you would come in and take Teaching and Assessing English Language Learners, which is essentially a methods course. It's helping you hone those teaching methods as it relates to working with English language learners. And then you have one other course that you choose from as it relates to culture and society, where you can choose from these 3 different options. So language, society, and power, literacy, learning, and cultural differences, or developing cross-cultural competence. And so this is really only 12 credit hours that's done within a very short time period. And so when it comes to adding that versatility to your degree that you're earning, this is definitely one of the routes that you can go to add that versatility to your already earned degree and your teaching license.
All right. Is there another question in there? Okay, so thank Katie, thank you. So thank you. All right, we are getting ready to wrap up. So again, if you have any questions, reach out. If you have a question, say for a student, you can contact any one of us who have been in this call or in the Zoom meeting. I always get confused when it's Zoom or phone calls. And we can follow up with you if you want to ask more questions of Lilly, for example, or of Cece about mathematics. We want you to feel free to ask those questions. So at this point, Charles, it looks like we're ready to wrap things up.
Thank you all very much for coming. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If students and faculty that are here, if you all don't mind, if you would type in just your contact information, if you're comfortable with sharing that in the chat, that would be great. Because again, the chat and all that's going to be available for us to share with our other schools that weren't able to attend today, just because everyone's on so many different schedules as it relates to face-to-face instruction in the schools, or on a hybrid model, or still fully online. So we're going to disseminate this out to everyone so that way they can still see what we did today and also have that contact information as well. But thank you all very much for coming. We very much appreciate it.
And then also we'll make sure that you get the MTRP flyer. I know it's hard to open in the chat, so we will make sure that gets sent out so you have access to that information.
And Heather, are you still on here with us?
I am.
When will you be able to send me the link to the recording?
I will be able to do that probably this afternoon.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Also, just as an FYI in the chat, I did put a link to the campus visit programs because we do host the on-campus campus visit, so people can definitely visit campus. That starts up next week. And then I also went ahead and put Stephanie's contact information in there as well.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Of course.
So thank you, students. Come visit me. And everyone have a wonderful summer.
Yep. Take care of yourselves.
That's right.
Thank you all for being with us. Have a great summer.
Hi, everybody.